It's a Thursday. It's March 6th. It's 2025. Welcome to the DayWeather podcast. As we embark on this Thursday and head towards the end of the week and the weekend, a lot of folks waking up to clouds and some areas of snowfall as a very moist Pacific weather system with easterly winds developing, bringing a prolonged period of upslope weather, upslope winds coming from an easterly direction, pushing up against the east side of the mountains, especially the Wind Rivers and the Bighorns and the Laramie Range Mountains, will all work together to produce moderate to heavy snow for parts of the region. In particular, Wyoming, but parts of Nebraska, parts of Idaho, parts of Utah, some areas of mountain terrain of Colorado, and back into parts of the Great Basin. So a good storm, good in the sense that it's not going to become a blizzard, but it's going to produce what you want a March storm to do: widespread, badly needed precipitation. Two storm systems are still queued up next week. The wave coming in Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we don't think will become a major system, but it will produce some more snow in the mountains, some showers in the plains, probably will give us a period of wind. There's going to be a stronger, more potent storm, as we've been showing you. That potential is really there for next Friday and Saturday to be impactful in the region. We'll just have to see how it comes together. And then everything still points to the next couple of weeks, there's going to be some front or some storm coming through the western U.S. about every 3 or 4 days. That's how they're spaced apart. And we see no end to this. We're starting it this week. We're going to see it next week. I think we're going to see it the week after. So hopefully the odds will be in your favor that between now and the end of March, if you're in a dry area, you'll have a chance that one of these storms could get you. So certainly the frequency of storms is important this time of year, and we're certainly going to get that frequency. Beautiful altocumulus clouds there ahead of the next impending wave. And this next impending wave has produced a lot of advisories for winter weather. You can see all of the pink and the purple here, this whole area under some form of winter weather advisory for snow, even into the mountains of Southern California here. As you see it come on through, a lot of geography there covered. You can see that a large swath of northern Nebraska, northwest Iowa, then back into just about all of Wyoming, into the mountains of Colorado. A good event in terms of widespread moisture. Unfortunately, more high winds. This is going to be a common theme, I'm afraid, for New Mexico and West Texas, as these waves are going just like this. And when they go north of New Mexico and the panhandles, you're going to get a lot of wind while the snow is along the northerly track. There's Wyoming. As you can see, just about all of the state is under some advisory. There's a few pockets that aren't, but those few pockets are still going to get snowed on. But you can see that west to east axis, as we've been showing you, is where the focal point of the heavier snow is going to be. Satellite imagery really shows that moisture, especially when we take a look at the cloud enhancement. You can see that this system is bringing along with it a fair amount of moisture, and there's a fairly decent surge of colder air coming out of Canada, helping to bring those upslope winds into the high plains, something we just have not seen for quite a while. Here's the 500 millibar pattern, the upper level low, right along the border there with Utah and into the central Great Basin states. And as that wave comes through, one piece breaks off, heads this way. The other piece hangs down, goes into the southwestern United States, then kicks out later on. So this is going to spread moisture into areas of the southwestern United States that could really use it. There's the breakup. This is by noon tomorrow. And then as we go and take a look at the precipitation chances, you can see it looks a lot like the map I showed you yesterday. There's this west to east axis here. Good snow from the Pacific moisture hitting the mountains. This part of Arizona really needing some moisture, going to get some. Southwest Colorado as well, and northern New Mexico get into the act. And before the wind comes, we're going to be looking at needed moisture down here in the Panhandle region as well. So getting a lot of the west, not a huge storm, but a good one in the sense of the moisture. And there's the snowfall. You see that 27.8, that's your South Pass area. That's where the snow along the east slopes of the Wind River Mountains will get a lot of snow out of this. So this will be a good snowpack boost as well. And if you look, at where the heaviest moisture is going to be right here, it lines up with the drought monitor in terms of where the extreme drought is across the Pine Ridge into east central Wyoming here. So it is going to cover some of the areas of the drought. Will it mean this will change color? No, but you got to start somewhere. So this is a start helping those east central counties of Wyoming, northern Nebraska, and southwestern areas of South Dakota with some moisture. The dryness up here in North Dakota becoming more and more of a concern. Hopefully one of these storms will get up into the northern plains. So good to see, and we should see more opportunities in the days and in the weeks ahead. By the weekend, though, classic March. You get snowed on, then it warms up and it melts. That's what's going to happen. So we're going to see the snow over the next couple of days, the cold. High pressure comes in over the weekend, well timed. So Saturday, Sunday into Monday, 3 good days of weather. This next wave pinches off from the main flow, and then we'll cut across here as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So this is by Tuesday, that's by Wednesday. So you can see it moves quickly, but notice the next trough dives in right along the coast of British Columbia into the Pacific Northwest. Notice the tight packing here of the lines. A lot of jet stream energy. This is a strong jet stream wind diving south along the west coast. When you see this right here, you're going to have what we call a digger. It's going to be able to dig and come into the Four Corners region here. This is the system that's due late next week. So this little wave, Tuesday and Wednesday, moves through, so it will produce some moisture. It's just going to be a quick mover. Then by next Friday into Saturday, that system digs along the west coast and goes down into southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. Obviously, it's too far out to know how this system will come together and exactly where it will track, but it's a large-scale wave. It's got a lot of breadth and depth to it, so it's going to be one that is going to be a weather maker. All sorts of weather. You can imagine severe weather ahead of it out here. You can imagine winter storm conditions on the backside of it here. So we'll just have to see what happens. So if we back up here, Tuesday and Wednesday, Friday and Saturday of next week, early the following week, here comes another wave. There's another strong jet stream wind, so we've got another digger. High pressure is actually building up in the Pacific a little bit more stronger. So this could lead to another weather pattern by early next week, around the 18th, 19th, of more waves coming in and digging on in. So this is what we mean by this is going to go on at least another 2 weeks, and the Pacific North American oscillation, notice the green line stays below in negative territory. And if it's in negative territory, the Western United States is going to be active with more storms. Now you may notice the blue lines, let me go back here. The blue lines is the control run of the model, which basically the green line is an average of a lot of model runs put together. The control line is one of the models they use to kind of base the other models on. What you see here is a sine wave pattern. See this fluctuation like this? That is another sign of the wave features coming on through. So we're just getting started with the first week of likely 3. We're expecting at least 2 storms a week coming through the western U.S. Have yourself a good Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.